So Motorola's smartphone situation just got even more confusing. So at the very top super spangly flagship end, you've got the Motorola Signature, if you've got buckets of cash to blow on your next blower. And then sat just below the Signature is the Moto Edge 70 Pro, which is slightly cheaper, not quite as beefy, with camera tech that isn't quite as sexy. And now Motorola has spaffed out yet another premium blower, the Motorola Edge 70 Max, which at 700 quid is almost the same price as that Pro, and in some ways it's better than the Pro, and in other ways not quite so much. So it's not really a Max, it's more of a Pro adjacent, I guess. But I spent a good bit of time with the Motorola Edge 70 Max out in Mexico, which frankly was just an excuse to drink many cans of beer the size of my head, and watch some hairy men in masks pretending to slap each other silly. So here's what I reckon of the Motorola Edge 70 Max and how it compares with that Pro. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe, ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So first up, I hope you like them big, because the Motorola Edge 70 Max certainly lives up to that Max title when it comes to the size of the bugger. It's a whopping great big 6.82 inch display. Thankfully not surrounded by particularly chunky bezels. It's a wee bit thicker than the Pro and a bit heftier as well at 221 grams. So certainly one of the bigger, heavier flagships in 2026. Actually reminds me of the likes of the Galaxy S26 Ultra, the Poco X8 Pro Max, other proper big, heavy gits. You got a small choice of colours as usual. Sadly, I've just got the boring black version, which is called Dark Shadow, as opposed to a light shadow, I guess. Otherwise, you can also grab the Edge 70 Max in aqua grey or ice melt. It's not the most thrilling selection of colours, I've got to say, especially for a company known for its bright, bold Pantone jobbies. Now up front, you've got a Gorilla Glass 7i display, but no screen protector. And while 7i is reasonably scratch resistant, I would suggest slapping on your own screen protector if you're going to be hopefully rocking this phone for many years. And then you've got yourself an aluminium frame with a matte finish, just like the back end. And again, it's quite a bland, boring design around back, certainly for a company like Motorola, which is known for slightly more exciting, vibrant fare. They often blend the camera bump in with the rest of the rear, for instance, but here it's just kind of sat there like in an iPhone or whatever. Bugger all sparkle or flare, just looks rather businessy, very stern. But can't really fault the ruggedness of the Motorola Edge 70 Max, though this thing's tougher than Jason Momoa wearing an iron girdle. It's passed many military standard A10H tests to prove that it's a bit of a tough git. It can handle knocks and vibrations and extreme temperatures and such forth, and it's also IP68 and IP69 rated, so it's fully dust resistant, water resistant and spurt resistant. So it won't be harmed by a bit of muck, and you can actually just give it a bath or hose it down. Now when you want to actually use the Motorola Edge 70 Max, where you got a basic in-display optical sensor in order to unlock it, it's kind of a shame that Motorola didn't slap a ultrasonic scanner on there. Given the more premium price tag would be a bit more accurate, but thankfully this optical scanner is absolutely fine. As you can see, they're super responsive, straight into your desktops. It seems to work absolutely fine, even if my hands are rather clammy or grubby. And once you're in there, a good bit of Android 16 in a fairly stock flavour as usual. Motorola doesn't slap its own heavy launcher on top, completely changing up that Android vibe or anything. What they tend to do instead is shove a bunch of their own apps on board. And you've got the full complement here on the Edge 70 Max, including Smart Connect. It's really handy for hooking up with a laptop to share files or connecting to a TV or a monitor to stream content. The likes of Family Space and the simply titled Moto app just allows you to quickly and easily access a whole bunch of features, including customization shenanigans. You've also got some excellent gesture support, including, yes, your Uncle Spurt's favourite, bit of fast flashlight. Trying to drunkenly stumble your way to the bogs in the middle of the night, no worries, just do a swift karate chop. You've got a dedicated gaming mode and some extra security bits, the works. Oh, and splash-proof pants at the ready, because the Motorola Edge 70 Max actually has a proper always-on display, or sleep display, as Motorola likes to call it. But yeah, it does actually stay on all of the time. It doesn't just bugger off after 10 seconds like usual. A surprising rarity for Moto blowers. You can't actually schedule it or anything, but it does automatically deactivate if you slip the Max into your pants or whatever. And as usual, you do get a dedicated AI key slapped on the left edge up towards the top. But for a change, Motorola hasn't actually packed a load of its own AI shenanigans here onto the Edge 70 Max. In fact, when you double tap that AI button, you just call up Gemini by default. And if you dive into the gestures section of the settings and go to AI key, you can see set to digital assistant by default. Otherwise, you can actually get it to launch any app that you fancy here on the phone, which is great news. Because quite often with these shortcut buttons, it is basically AI or nout. And you can have it perform bug roll action if you find it quite annoying, you're accidentally hitting it quite a lot. Personally, I never found I accidentally pressed it once, which was good. You do have to double tap anyway to get it to do stuff. But yeah, I don't know if Motorola is planning on bringing Moto AI to the Max at any point, but it's not there at the moment. Very conspicuous by its absence, although you do still get the likes of Perplexity slapped on here. And yes, sadly, the growing amount of crapware as well, including, oh great mate, Temu, some random crappy games, and all of the usual obligatory metabolics. And the Moto Edge 70 Max comes with 256 gigs of storage as standard, which is the minimum you'd kind of hope for in 2026. Bug roll micro SD support, of course, as usual. However, that is also half the amount that you get with the Edge 70 Pro, so it's not particularly max on that front, I guess. And with the Max, Motorola is guaranteeing a pretty respectable 5 years of security patching, but only 3 OS updates, which ain't as many as quite a lot of rivals offer, the likes of Samsung, Google, Oppo, etc. And also the updates tend to lag a wee bit behind a lot of rivals as well, shall we say. But hey, no real gripes when it comes to the Max's 6.82-inch Extreme AMOLED display. And this is a chipmunk's chuff bigger than the Edge 70 Pro's panel, but it's also sharper as well thanks to the gorgeously crisp Quad HD resolution. And it's a completely flat panel as well, no curving at the edges or anything. I'm perfectly happy with the visuals here. You've got the standard Pantone validated color output, but you can tinker with the colors in the settings, make them really bright and vibrant. You've got full HDR10 plus streaming support in the likes of Netflix as well. And this screen is powerfully bright as well. It happily countered any glare that I experienced in Mexico City. And indeed here in Blighty these past few days, where it's actually probably been sunnier than it was in Mexico flippin' City. Now refresh rate peaks at 144 Hz if you happen to enjoy any games that support that level of refresh. You got the usual eye comfort shenanigans and also a bit of flicker prevention if you are more sensitive to OLED panels. But certainly at launch, there doesn't appear to be any support for the Motorola Pen stylus here on the Edge 70 Max. Maybe that'll be coming in an update. As for the stereo speaker output, well, that's pretty damn beefy. If you max out that volume, it'll absolutely blast your eardrums to bits. Not literally, thankfully, but it is proper bloody loud. The top speaker is actually just the earpiece speaker, but you still get reasonably balanced audio, kinda bassy as well, certainly for a smartphone. So pretty good for kicking back with some Crunchyroll, Netflix, whatever else. Of course, if you are listening to music, I'd say hook up Bluetooth, and on that front, absolutely fine as well, no worries. And you got the usual Dolby Atmos Smart slapped on here. And you can customize that output with a 10-band EQ. Now, while the Edge 70 Pro was powered by MediaTek's Dimensity 8500, here on the Edge 70 Max, the brains of the operation is Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 5. Not the 8 Elite Gen 5, mind you, which you'll find slapped inside of quite a lot of flagship smartphones in 2026, just the regular 8 Gen 5, which is slightly more budget friendly while still packing a fair amount in the trouser department. It's quite often stuffed inside of upper mid-range smartphones, like the OnePlus 15R, for instance, and it's backed here by 12 gigs of RAM. Now, I certainly found the everyday running on the Motorola Edge 70 Max was perfectly smooth, no complaints there. And when it comes to gaming, perfectly possible to run titles like Wuthering Waves on the maxed out graphics settings at 60 frames per second. Unfortunately, the Motorola Edge 70 Max doesn't quite have the grunt to consistently deliver that high frame rate. In calmer moments, the frame rate will happily sit around the sort of high 50s, but when the goes down, it does nosedive slightly into the 30s and 40s, occasionally even dipping into the 20s. They're still perfectly playable and reasonably smooth, but certainly not the full-on ultra deluxe gaming experience you'll get from a lot of flagship blowers. And also, while you do have quite a large vapor chamber stuffed inside of here, the Edge 70 Max can get rather toasty under duress, just like the Edge 70 Pro, which does tend to impact performance, though it doesn't thankfully ever get to finger singeing levels. It can be quite uncomfortable to clutch the Max when it gets proper hot. So certainly if you are a gamer, I would say, perhaps you might want to look elsewhere, but otherwise the performance absolutely fine. And Motorola's gaming mode is excellent as well, with a proper turbo mode if you want to boost the performance for the likes of Weather and Waves, as well as battery saver modes, and all kinds of great tools to really help you get the most out of your games. Now the Edge 70 Pro already impressed me plenty with its 6500 mAh battery, but the Max has even that beat with its 7100 mAh silicon carbon cell. So that's as big as quite a lot of beefy flagships out there. There's only a handful of phones that have it beat, the likes of the Poco X8 Pro Max, for instance, with an 8500 mAh battery. That phone is absolutely off its tits. But wasn't too surprised to find that the Motorola Edge 70 Max handled life no problems. Up early for the bit of World Cup shenanigans, shot a lot of video at the opening ceremony and during the match where I got absolutely doused in beer every time Mexico scored. And then stretched well into the evening, of course, with a bit of Lucha Libre beery action. And even after a long, intensive day like that, not even scraping into power saver mode. And if the Edge 70 Max is under proper duress, playing the likes of Weather and Waves on those maxed out settings with the turbo mode active, I still managed just under 5 hours of action from a 100% charge, which is just slightly less than the Edge 70 Pro, and a cracking effort all round. So certainly more demanding users should be more than happy, and if you do need to give it an emergency top up at any point for whatever reason, well, no worries, you've got 90 watt wired charging support, so it powers up in a jiffy. You've also got 25 watt wireless charging support. So let us conclude this majestic Motorola Edge 70 Max review. A bit of a squint at that camera tech. And it's Motorola's standard camera app, absolutely packed with bonus features, including the fresh new frame match action, and good bit of pro mode as well if you want to capture raw format images, tinker around with the likes of white balance, the ISO levels, etc. And that main camera sensor is a 50 meg Sony Lightyear 710. The exact same 1/1.56 inch sensor that Motorola also shoved in the Edge 70 Pro, and also the far cheaper Fusion model. And this sensor can generally capture bright, good looking photos as long as the lighting isn't too knackered. In more challenging conditions, the Edge 70 Max can struggle a bit. For instance, the likes of an indoor arena is less than ideal, with that sharp contrast often resulting in grain and saturation, while any kind of motion in softer light usually just ends in tears. So not ideal, sadly, for shooting a bit of Lucha Libre action. And on the flip side though, Motorola's portrait mode is an absolute banger. The Edge 70 Max can smartly separate your subject from even quite a busy background, usually with pretty impressive accuracy. But the slightly mad thing about the Motorola Edge 70 Max's camera setup is there's bugger all telephoto shooter on this thing, despite the fact there was one on the Pro. So when you zoom in a bit, you're still capturing pictures with that main sensor, just with a bit of digital cropping and some quite obvious AI sharpening involved. And yeah, it is kind of disappointing when you get to this sort of price point to not have a telephoto camera lens on there, especially when you consider there are far cheaper options, the likes of the Nothing Phone 4A and 4A Pro, which do offer a zoom lens. I do prefer to have that bit of flexibility, certainly, especially when shooting living subjects. You don't have to get right up in their face trying to get a crispy shot. And in fact, the only other usable sensor slapped on the back end there is a basic bog standard 8 megapixel ultra wide angle shooter. On the video front, where you can shoot up to 4K resolution footage, but you will need to keep the frame rate at 30 frames per second if you fancy throwing in a bit of HDR smart. Otherwise, knock off the HDR. You can bump it up to 60 frames per second. I was happy enough with the results. Again, in respectable lighting, you get quite poppy, punchy, crisp visuals. Impressive stabilization, everything stays nice and smooth. The audio can be a little bit warbled with a lot of background noise, for instance at a Lucha Libre match, but otherwise is absolutely fine. But yes, in softer light you get usual limitations, those visuals not quite as crispy, bit of saturation in the higher contrast, all the usual issues. And with that 32 meg selfie camera, you can again record yourself at up to 4K resolution, this time caps at 30 frames per second though, and there's bugger all HDR smart, but absolutely fine for a bit of simple vlogging or what have you. The stabilization, again, pretty good. Even if you're holding the phone for a while, your hand starts to wobble a bit. You don't get too much of that trembling coming through. And the audio pickup, again, fine as long as there's not too much background shenanigans. And there you have it, my lovelies. That in a delicious wee nutshell is the slightly confusing Motorola Edge 70 Max. Not quite as max as the Pro in some areas, certainly when it comes to the camera tech, with the lack of telephoto action, or with the storage where it starts at 256 gigs. Again, like the Pro, the performance pretty good, but can get a wee bit toasty under serious duress. But the battery life absolutely banging, no complaints there. The software experience generally rather lovable, apart from, little bits like the crapware, which thankfully can be easily deleted. It is a bit of a whopper as well, so certainly if you want to pack an almost 7-inch beast in your pants, well, job done. Anyway, that's what this tired old tech twat reckons, but it'd be great to hear your thoughts on the Motorola Edge 70 Max down in the comments below. And hey, while you're down there, why not poke subscribe, ding that notifications bell, all the usual YouTube bollocks, and please do have yourself a most agreeable rest of the week. Cheers everybody, love you!